Hello, happy Monday. Hope everybody had a really great weekend. I sure did. We had the fair and fireworks. Little Pownell did it well. So, this week I thought I'd do something a little bit different. First, I'm going to tell you what's going on so that you don't miss out. You should, if you are in my classroom, I sent emails to everybody in the classroom so I don't miss anyone, but it's been on Facebook too, but I'll let you know tonight. So, this month, I have to tell that to do that later. Remind me later. Hey, Lana. So this month, the people that have done the July, we're not August yet, we're still in July, that are participating in the July Christmas Club should have received, or at the latest tomorrow, I haven't checked all the tracking, will have your card kit from me. And we'll be making our cards. Remember I showed you these? There's a bunch of them. So that's for the people in the July Christmas Card Club. I just announced what we're going to use for August, and I will post that on Facebook, but it's also in the classroom. I'll post it on my blog too. The stamp sets that we're going to order, and you can go ahead and place that order now if you want. So how you get into the club, there's no initiation or anything. It's not difficult. You place your $50 order using the host code. And, oh, good, Debbie. Good. And that's it. That's all you have to do. And then I make sure that you're in the classroom. And then on the 15th of the month, I mail out the kit. This month it was a little bit later because I was in Greece. So there's that. You have two more days to get the bonus days coupon. That means if you place a $50 order with Stampin' Up, they will send you a coupon. You have to save those. Don't ditch those emails. Go through your email and pull them out and print them so that you don't lose them. Save your coupon code. You get a $5 coupon code, and then any order in August, you can use those codes. And you can use more than one code on an order. You can use them. They're great. What else do I need to tell you? Oh, paper share. The cardstock paper share has a couple more days. I'm going to keep that open until the Friday, whatever that date is. I think it's the 3rd. And then we're done for now. All right? Okay, cool. So tonight, let's look down here. So tonight, for some reason, we've got lots of new stampers that are watching us, and thanks to all of you for sharing this video. I've gotten lots of people that have sent me notes that said, I don't know where to start. I don't have anything, or maybe I have 1 or 2 stamps from forever ago, and I just don't know where to start. So I've decided for the next, I don't know, until we get bored, we'll try something new. But for tonight anyway, I'm going to show you what to do if you don't have anything. What do you need and where do you get started? So let me move all this out of the way because I do these cards, on Mondays and Thursdays, and sometimes I use a lot of stuff. And you might be thinking, well, that's awesome for her, but I don't have all that stuff. All right, so here's tonight's card, and it says, "You're utterly fantastic." So I picked a fun stamp set, and for tonight, I decided to go with the Over the Moon stamp set. So that's the first place that you're going to start. You're going to start with a stamp set that you love. Now, if you look in the catalog, you'll see some of them are bundled, some of them are just stamp sets. When it's a bundle, I'm trying to get that glare away for you, it means that it has coordinating dies. Now, the dies are great, but if you don't have a machine to cut the dies with, a Big Shot or an embosser, I can't think of the name of the one. What is the Gemini? Sorry, my brain was just asleep. If you don't have one of those, then the dies really don't do you any good. So just pick a stamp set that's a stamp set. That's all you need. This particular one is a cling mount. See it? Cling mount means that they come with these handy dandy stickers that show you what's on the back of the stamp. And I'll show you how to put these on in a minute. All right? So you pick your stamp set. Then the other thing that you're going to need is a block. Ebosser, yep, that's another good one. The block is what you're going to stamp with. Because remember back in the old days, and that's when I knew them originally, stamps came on wooden blocks. Well, today, most stamps don't. In fact, Stampin' Up! Has pretty much eliminated all the wooden stamps now and has gone to these. They're less expensive to ship and to buy. They are easier to store. They don't take as much room. So this is a block. You might see me use something called the Stamparatus. Stamparatus is awesome, and it's a great add-on, but it's not necessary to get started with, although, you know, if somebody says, let me buy you whatever you need, grab this, but you don't necessarily have to. So you need a block, and this one is the D block, and it's a pretty good size for most card stamps. Now let me just show you an example of one that it doesn't fit on. This is the card that I used. This is the stamps that I used the other night, the waterfront. And see, this one looks like it's a little too big. It kind of hangs over. But I could use this block and just put it on the diagonal, and I could squeeze it in here. So even though that looks like it might not fit, it would fit. Right, Susan? Back in the day, you had to trim your own. They didn't come like this. You had to cut them, put the adhesive on. They are pretty, it is a lot easier. That was actually before me, but I do know that it happened. Those of you that have been following me for a long time know that I was not a stamper. I was a Cricut user. That's where I started, and that's what I did. I could use a computer program with the best of them. But when it came to getting inky and doing this, I'm relatively new to the game. But I love it. I love how the cards come out. So I want you to be able to do it and not feel intimidated. So let's go back. We got a stamp set. We have a block. Okay, now we need something to ink it with. I'm going to recommend that you start with StazOn and some watercolor pencils. This is the least expensive way to get the most variety. Now, if you know you're going to love it, then you can start ordering stamps, inks in different colors. But if you're not sure, this is a great way to get started. So you're going to order some StazOn, your watercolor pencils, and then something called a blender pen. No, not the blends, blender pens. And I'm going to show you how to use those too. The next thing you're going to need is something to stamp on. I recommend that you start with Whisper White Thick. This is a really solid cardstock, and you don't need to add tons and tons of layers with it. So a pack of Whisper White Thick, and then you're also going to want envelopes, because you're going to want to send your cards that you're now making to everyone. So you're going to want a pack of Whisper White medium envelopes. And all the links will be next to this video in Facebook so that you can go look at these products and see what you think. And then the last little tidbit. Oh, Christine, I'm so glad that you're happy using your Cricut. I love my Cricut. I still love Cricut. I've not walked away from it. I have just fallen in love with stamp sets. So it's kind of like having another child. When you think you have that first baby and you think that's the only thing you can ever love, well, this is baby number 2, and I actually do love it too. I do. Okay, so you might see something called Memories and More in the catalog and wonder what they are. These are perfect if you want to do some really quick cards. They come in, I was going to see what it said the sizes were. Tell me. It's kind of weird. It doesn't really tell me. You're going to get this collection. This is what's in this one. This is Magnolia Lane Memories and More card pack. I get 2 sets of this size and 2 sets of the bigger ones. What's great about this is it gives me more than just pattern paper, but it gives me things that can be used on the front of my cards too. Different style. It also gives me some great stickers. So the Memories and More packs give you more than just a pack of paper. So what we're going to do tonight is use our Memories and More pack, our Designer Series, or sorry, our Whisper White cardstock, and our stamp set. So first things first, let me show you about this particular card. This looks like I've layered lots and lots of things, right? I didn't. It's just a Memories and More card. Which one is it? I could use that one. That one's kind of cool. The one I actually used, where did he go? I think I have two of them. No? Well, I don't have two exactly the same, but let's use, I have this one. So I could use that one. I could use this one. Lots of variety. I really thought there was another one when I picked that one. Oh, are you the same? Nope, you're not the same either. I swear there was the same one. It's going to make me crazy. Here it is. Goodness. Okay. So that's the one, right? Lots of choices. Think how many cards you could make using just this. So all I did was I took a piece of the bigger and I trimmed it down. So I cut this to 4 by 5 1/4. Now you are going to need something to cut and measure with. You can use a ruler and draw a line and then use your scissors, or you can get a trimmer. Right now Stampin' Up! Has discontinued this trimmer and I don't have a new one. So if you don't already own a trimmer, I'm going to send you to the dreaded online Amazon store. It's not dreaded, it's just not me. I wish I could help you, but I can't. So I'm going to go with 5 1/4. If you need a trimmer, let me know and I'll help you out. By 4. I really do like this trimmer, but they've decided to come up with a newer version and it's just not here yet. So here's my other piece of card. I took my Whisper White and I cut it. It was 8 1/2 by 11, just a standard piece of cardstock, and I cut it in half. So now I have 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. I put a score line in the middle. A score just tells me where to bend, and I'm going to fold it in half. So this is now my card base. And this is going to go right here. So the next thing you need is something to stick it down. That's where our handy dandy snail comes in. And snail is great because it's super easy to change. If you have not tried adhesives before and you try some other companies, one, you might buy them cheaper in the dollar bin and you end up throwing them away because they don't stick very well. The reason I joined Stampin' Up! Is because of their customer service. They're amazing. They make sure you're happy. I don't even have to say a word. They do such a great job. So I'm going to open up this little door and flip this over, and I'm going to run snail down either side. You can get carried away and snail everything, but you don't really have to. And then I'm going to center this, and I'm an eyeballer. I just kind of use my eyeball and figure out where the middle is. If it isn't straight, I will not sleep tonight, so I will keep playing with it till I get it right. So there's the base of my card, right? And now I'm going to take this piece that looks like it's multiple layers, and I stamped and layered, and it looks like I stamped all this, and then I took a white layer, and then a brown layer, and then another couple more. Looks like I did a ton. I didn't. I just pulled it out of the Memories and More pack. And I'm going to stamp on it. Now, I use this little pad because my table is pretty, but bumpy. So you might need a little something if your table's not smooth. And I'm going to open up my StazOn. And you notice it has this little plastic thingy and it says, do not discard. It's not kidding, save it. Because your ink will dry out if you use it, if you throw it away. All right, and let's grab our little cow. Let's do this one, and we're going to do this in a little vertical instead of horizontal. So we're going to take this cow. Let me show you how to put the Klingon too. Oh, Klingon. Sounds like a Star Trek movie. My mom would be happy. My mom was not the current Star Trek, the old-time Star Trek. The kind with Beam 'em Up Scotty and the TV show. Okay, so I peel those backings off. This is super sticky now. And I'm going to take my stamp and I'm going to fit it right in the space. See the outline? And my cow is going to go right in. Now you got to, this is one of those commit and you're done. You don't get a do-over. So you've got to make sure it's where you want it and you're pretty happy with it. And then, oh good golly, I hope we're good. Push it down. And then I peel this backing off. Ta-da! Now I can tell where my stamp is from the back. And look at this. Super, super sticky. It's not going to go anywhere. All right? Okay. So now you're thinking, wait, that cow's too big for that card. I'm going to turn it this way. And my cow's going to fit right in here perfectly, right? All right, so then the next trick is getting your ink on. And I like to do it this way, although some people flip it over and take the ink pad and do this. I tend to make a mess with that, and I don't like getting messy. So, but what you do when you do it this way is you have to pick up your stamp and look at it and make sure that you've covered all the lines evenly and get a good peek at it. Make sure you've got good amount of ink coverage. Bring this back, and now I can tell where my stamp's going to go because I've got this little sticker on the back. Line this up, and I'm going to move it over a little bit and to the left. So hopefully I have room to put some kind of a stamp up here. And stamp. There's my cow. Oh, Patty, I don't think anybody else is having issues. Can you all hear me okay? There. Okay. So I'm going to let that dry just a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to pick up my mess and I'm going to look at some of the sentiments to see if there might be room. I wonder if Dream Big would fit right there. I really like that. Here's Dream Big. Whoops. Okay, good. Good, good. Thanks. I thought I was okay. It wasn't telling me any issues. All right, so we're going to go with Dream Big. And we're going to line that up same way. Pop that in. There. And we're just going to make sure this is going to fit. And it is right there. So then we're going to take our block off. Remember, when you take your block, you want to be sure that you grab that, the sticker. You don't want to just pull because you can rip it. So you want to be sure that you go all the way under. If you don't have a fingernail, you can use your pokey thing. You can use your, I'm looking for it so I can show it to you. This is called the Take Your Pick tool. It's a cool tool. This little end comes off and this little flat spatula slides right under there and lets you lift it up, right? Okay. So you just want to be sure that you don't just grab the top of the stamp and rip, because you will literally rip the back off. All right, there's Dream Big. So I'm still using that same StazOn, which I put away because I tend to make a mess if I don't. Here comes Dream Big. And I'm going to pop that right up here at the top. There we go. Now, remember I said I was going to let this dry a little bit. Now on time to color. So, I have a collection of watercolor pencils that I've just gathered. These are 2 different colors, or 2 different sets. We have 1 and 2. But let's just use 2 tonight. Oh, and this box, this is the clear stamp pad cases. I buy these for everything. They're in the catalog too. If you're not sure where they are, you can just search under the shopping tab for stamp box and they'll pop up. Okay, this is watercolor pencil number 2. Love these colors, they're really different. So I have to think about, what do I want my cow to be? I think I want my cow to be pink, just 'cause. So I'm going to grab the Flirty Flamingo and I'm going to color in her hair. And I'm not fussy. I'm just getting color down. I'm just laying color in. Don't worry about if the lines show. You just want it to color in, okay? Just like that. Her tail. Oh, she needs some color for her boots. I don't know what color. They're not going to be pink. I think her nose is going to be pink too. Notice it doesn't look all that finished right this minute. Let's let her feet be pink, and then we'll come in with something else for the boots. Let's do some Granny Apple Green. For her boots. Now, Magnolia is not really a Granny Apple Green. I've got some Garden Green, so I'm just going to go over this a little. So now I'm kind of blending colors, and you're thinking, your coloring looks terrible. Not done. I'm going to take my blender pen, and as I work with these colors ever so lightly, it's not a heavy hand, it's really light, you can see that all those ugly lines just kind of blend in, and it looks like I colored it without a single mark, right? It blends the 2 colors. Now, because we use the StazOn, the ink won't smear. And then when you get done with a color, you're just going to take a piece of scrap paper, which I'm looking aimlessly for, a piece of scrap paper, and just color on it. Here it is. Until it comes clear. See, the green goes away. Now I'm going to go with the pink. I don't have to clean this brush or anything. I just wipe it off like that. I'm going to go with her pink. So if you look at the list in the classroom, which, by the way, if you are not in the classroom, make sure that you go enroll. It's simply karamiller.com and click on classroom. It's free, and you're going to want to enroll in the 2019 free live classes. And everything I do in live Facebook is in there, from sketches to supply lists. The recording will be there after class. It's just a really great library of material for you to come back to. So we do all that. We do this on all the pink. Then I've got to add some color to that flower. Now, remember I said this was watercolor too. There isn't any yellow in this particular, in this collection. This was an add-on to our basic collection. So in the yellow case, I do have yellow over here. This is Daffodil Delight, which is kind of perfect for this flower. And I'm going to do the same thing. Now, if you want it to be really dark, you just add more color. If I were going to just make it light, I wouldn't really color it in so much. See the difference? And then I'm going to grab this And you can see how bright it gets when you color it in. And I want to wipe this off, and let's look at the lighter color one. See, it's a really pastel yellow. If I want more, I can come over here and pick up a little bit of yellow and drag it over here. See that? I can also take my scrap paper, put down some yellow, pick it up with my blender pen, and then come over here and almost use it like a paintbrush. All right. Now I need some green for her flowers. This blender pen is awesome. They come in a pack of 3. They're really great to work with. I need something for her leaves on her flower here. And I can do cool things like do one color on one side of the leaf and another color on the other to get shading. Even though I'm using really easy watercolors, if you're new to coloring, the watercolor pencils are a great place to start. You get a really good variety of colors. They're not expensive, and they give you a lot to work with. Now, I like my cow the way she is. I think she looks pretty cool. You could add more color if you wanted, but I like her. And I lost my cover. You do want to make sure you put the cover back on your blender pen because it will dry out. And I will find this later. Oh, here it is. Okay, and then last step. We have our card base, right? Only this time we're going to go this way. This one was like that. And I'm going to use dimensionals. These are probably one of my favorite tools. I know, Penny, I have a lot of favorites, don't I? I love dimensionals, though. They just take your card from being flat to, well, dimensional. They pop it right up. They're super easy to use. You just stick them on the back. They're little tiny pieces of pre-adhesive foam. It's adhesive on both sides. They're not expensive. You get, I don't know how many packs. I can look. We have regular size and minis. And then again, eyeball this. The lines on the paper help you to make sure that you get it across. You get it straight up and down. And there we have card number 2. And I have so much left to do. I wanted to do 2 of the same, but honestly, I have so much variety in this. This is beautiful. It's this really awesome vellum. So what if you just put this and this, and then you added one of these cards on the top, trim that down, and then add one of these cards on the top, even this thank you. Look at this. Look how quick and easy this could be. Just trim this. I'm going to trim you to 5 1/4, which leaves me another great piece to use on something else, and trim this to 4. I don't really have a lot left over when they do the 4. It's just a tiny little whisper. And then I'm going to stick this down. I probably would use a glue dot because glue dots on vellum, glue dots come in a roll. You could use snail too, but they don't show very well through when you just stick them on. This is super easy. Right? Whoops. And then pop this down. And then, again, dimensionals. And I don't even have to stamp with this one. So if you're in a big rush and you just, oh my goodness, I need a thank you card right yesterday. I need a thank you card. Well, you just grab this, pop it on, and you're ready to go. Right? Hey, Randy, looks super cool. Looks like I spent hours designing it. Nope, Memories and More to the rescue. So, If you're thinking, I don't know, I might want to do this, I don't really know if I do or not, I can't be sure. Did you wonder where my other card went? Because I was just flipping around with it. It's on the back. Christine, you can, yeah. So let's take this little piece of vellum and let me put it on something white. And let me show you a couple of options. Let's do it with, this is the colored pencil. Right? And again, the blender pen. And because it's watercolor, it just looks so pretty. This is all from, Patty, this is from the Memories and More pack. So all this stuff comes in there. Now the other coloring that we can do is we can use markers. And let's say we wanted to color this with marker. The problem with this is it's not going to dry really quickly and it's going to easily smear. So you're going to need to bring in a heat tool like we do to emboss, a little hairdryer kind of tool. We'll work on that another day. Or you're going to need to let it dry. But you can still use these and color in that way. Oops, I colored out of the lines. Okay. One more option. This is our Stampin' Blend. And I am using the Real Red. This was Cherry Cobbler. So this is Real Red. I'm using the darker colors so that you can see them better. But a blend, these markers are alcohol markers, so they dry much quicker. So there would be less smearing or opportunity to smear. And you can do more variety with blending with these. But yep, you can. Right? You can stamp on vellum. Again, stays on is what you're going to need, and you're going to have to be patient because it has to dry. It doesn't absorb into vellum the way it does into paper. But yep, you can. All right, so if you, again, are just getting started or thinking you want to get started or you have no idea, start with the stamp set. Add a block. Add some stays on. Add the Memories and More. There's several of this variety. This is the Magnolia Lane, which gives you these papers. And you're going to need some snail. And I think you start with your watercolor pencils because it gives you the biggest bang for your buck. Right, Debbie, that's a great point. When you turn it over, it is more pale. Let me put it against white for you. So it's this color on this side. And it changes too because the blends look a little different than the watercolors do. And then there's the other side. See, it's a little more vibrant on that side. But what Debbie is saying is if you flip it over, you don't see your imperfections. So if you colored a boo-boo, you could do that too. Great point, Deb. Thank you for sharing. All right, everybody, have an awesome night. I'll see you again Thursday.